G'day, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. Welcome to another live stream this Sunday for Americans and my Monday morning for my Aussies out there. G'day, everyone. I do see Jude Collins in the chat. G'day, Jude. G'day, Matic. G'day, Holy Kings, Action Jackson. We do have Sora Lopez as well. Good to see you, Sora. Daniel and Sharon's g'day, as well as Lino Reyes, guys. How are we all doing today? Going to run it back for hopefully a win here, guys. All right, we'll see how we can go. All right. Good morning. Morning to you too, Jackson. Going to get my chat set up here. Put that on this side of the screen. All right, beautiful. All right. Let's get on into it. I haven't done a warm-up game yet, so you guys are going to be seeing a little bit of, dare I say, authenticity. At hopefully its finest, but arguably potentially at its worst. Alright, a little bit of a preface there, but whatever the case, we do have a Dark Dominion blue chest. I'm curious, guys, did any of you guys play during Community Day? I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I quite enjoyed it personally. A massive fan. Sora says, good mate. Niche Shannon says, good morning, buddy. Good morning, Shannon. South Africa salutes the butter. I salute you, Roger. Greetings from Michigan, US. Jackson says, g'day to you too, Matic. Alright, guys, we're going to be going down for a sandy drop today. I'm feeling a little bit in my beach vibes, so I'm going to be running with the magic skin today. I'll be very interested to see if they keep the Where We Dropping pistol next season. Yeah, we are, of course, guys, only about a few days away from that new event, so... very sort of perplexed there, but pretty hopeful, pretty largely optimistic for the most part there. I feel like most of the changes have been pretty well received by the community. Uh-oh. Grab that gun if we can. Couple of minis for good measure. Old mate coming up around the side. We'll need to go for the reload if possible. Unfortunately, we are going to be out of ammunition, so going for a couple of those crates here, guys. We still do have those two barrels over there. I am going to ignore them, and we'll just get a move on instead. Seeing if we can't get some, well, extra little mischief here with these weapons. I enjoyed Community Day. Action Jackson says, hopefully they do it again. Okay. Couldn't agree more. The Demi here, guys. We'll go and grab that. Good evening from Ireland. Good to see you, Daddy Laser. Thanks for checking in, bro. Good morning, Tostitos. G'day, CC. Alright, we got some action actually around the corner, guys. Let's see if we can't get some cheeky spots off on these guys, but fortunately for us right now, not today. But I can hear a chest. I'm trying to figure out, is that chest up top? Very well could be. Doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll go for the ammo instead. Oh no, underneath the staircase. Now this is going to be an interesting choice here, guys. The Super Shredder. Right, personally, I'm not a massive fan of it. I find it is a little too awkward for my liking. But I do understand its greatness. In fact, I just finished recording over an episode today, which will be going out tomorrow for you guys there. I'm sort of highlighting at the Super Shredder for a few kills there at the start of the game. Alright, we can grab that big boy, and we can also go up top here because this is where we have the, well, these slurp barrels. Alright, beautiful there. We can go and grab that as well as another chest. So, the purple there for the combat. I am going to grab the combat, and we're going to replace our Thunderburst there with the Demi. The reason being is this is going to give us that long range, guys. That long range potential. Alright, going for the floor now. We can, of course, grab a little bit extra health there. And we are now max. Okay, guys. We now have that max health. Max is going to be the name of my dog. I fucking suck at... Excuse my language there, guys. I suck at this game, butter. Lol. Smooth says, greetings from Canada. She says you're an awesome YouTuber and her favorite. Massive shout out to Shannon, guys. Massive shout out to you. That's really sweet of her. Alright, we do actually have a chest right above us here. Alright, we'll go and grab that. And then we're going to go and head out, guys. We've got plenty of ammunition here. Alright, we do have some decent guns. Alright, but what I really want is going to be, here we go, a car. Daniel says, I always struggle at the new season in the start there. And I feel like that's a pretty common tale, actually. I feel like, especially when you do have a new season, guys, when you do have, of course, these different sorts of changes, there's new weapons, there's all these new features. A lot of players come back to Fortnite as well. You're going to have a lot of sweaty players and sweaty lobbies. Old mate's actually around the corner there with the staff. It's probably going to go into the car. Alright, you know what we could do here, guys? Alright, we're on the front of the car. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be something I tried to show you guys actually in today's episode, which will again be coming out tomorrow. But the car strat is still very, very strong. All you guys really need to do there is try to jump on top of it. And with the way that the Fortnite physics work, you will be able to sort of stay on the car, largely interrupted, allowing you to spray out the players who might be trying to, you know, stay with that car, so to speak. We'll go and heal up the car now, guys. Alright, what's your thoughts on crossplay? Smooth says, I don't think PC and console players should be in the same lobbies. I think that's a pretty controversial take, but it's one that I do agree with to some extent. Right, like there's definitely the note there, guys, on the fact that, okay, we do have, right, the aim assist that console players can get, which can give them a little bit of that bonus there. But at the same time, some of these PC players are just absolutely completely unhinged. And I feel like in the North America servers especially, you know, a lot of you guys probably notice this, that there's just so many people who've been playing for just so long, who've got so much practice, that it does make for a whole lot of mischief, right, for the average Joe to sort of come on in there and try their best. Alright, we're checking our weaker defenders, guys. We're trying to make sure that if we are going to get taken off guard here, like by this player, for example. Superhero sweat skin there. I jump in the car to avoid taking all too much damage. I'm now going to try and blow up the car. Alright, we are holding the gas station, which means if he wants to go and refuel that car, he has to go by us. He has to pass us. Alright, so. Oh. Oh. I'm going to get in the car here because he's got high ground. I'm going to drift it around to the side. Jumping in and out of the car if potential has it. Right, he did manage to capture the car there. Unfortunately for Anonymous 332, he will not be able to get us back there. But look, well played to him, guys. I'd always get a little bit nervous when I go up against these sweaty superhero skins, especially with the ones with the flaming red eyes. I feel like I can speak for a majority of players there when I say that they are arguably the most terrifying of skins because, well, a lot of players, guys, a lot of players are choosing these superhero skins, especially going full blackout black, because they're harder to see, because it's stealthy, right? And it's going to be a really big selling point for a lot of players out there. So when you see them with sort of noticeable features like maybe shoes or the flaming red eyes, this is going to be something that honestly terrifies me a bit because they're no longer caring about the stealth aspect. Right? They no longer mind about that, guys. They are simply trying to intimidate you and they are confident in themselves. So it's always an interesting one. Jude says, just got a legendary pistol, lost faith in it after the update. Pistol is the best. I love that for you, Jude. Thanks, Suli. Yuga Namoto says, g'day, g'day. I definitely butchered that. My sincerest apologies. We got Stephen Howell in the chat. Actually got off nice to tune in. You're incredible, bro. Thank you so much. That's just unbelievable. Good morning to you too, Nana. Hope you're doing well today. What time is it for everyone right now? I'm kind of curious. It is currently 8:10 a.m. in the morning for me. It's going to be Queensland time over in Australia. Daddy Laser says, lol, flaming red eyes scared the bejesus out of me too. It's so intimidating, you know, and they've always got the most insane movement as well, you know, and it can be quite, well, debilitating or at least discombobulating to a lot of players out there because you go up against it and you could be, again, like me this morning, it's very early. All right, you haven't done your warm-up game and that's the, you know, one of the first main players you come up against, you know, and I feel like that's always a bit of a, well, you never know what that's going to be. It's a bit of a box of chocolates sort of situation there. 6 a.m. for Holy. Got 6:10 for Jackson. Just want to try and find a shotgun vending machine here, guys. Something to maybe upgrade our current sort of iron pump with. Yeah, that's going to be my main goal. G'day, Frankie. How are you, bro? Good to see ya. 3:10 in the afternoon for CC over in Arizona. 7:40 in the morning for Daniel. 6:11 p.m. for Lino. Sora says 8:11 a.m. Getting ready for school. Oh. Appreciate you, yeah. Hello from Michigan. Eyes dried open says. Like that, man. The Terminator skin is my favorite sweat skin. Jude says. It literally has the smallest skin in the game. I've been always wondering about that. You know, do the small skins actually make a difference? I think they do, but I do hear a lot of controversy to the otherwise. But you know what? That won't stop me from running the smaller frame skins, guys. I tell ya. Daddy Laser says 11 p.m. in Ireland Sunday evening. Oh, wow. Daddy Laser's up late. Good on you, bro. A little past midnight there in Spain for Alejandro. Smooth says, I'm happy with one win every other day, and here is Butter getting win after win, haha. I panic, and my aim goes way off. Your tips are very helpful, though, mate. You're the best, bro. Thank you. We got our new superhero skin rival up the top here, guys. I'll read some more comments in a second. Alright, we'll just see what we've got just over to yonder here. Alright, I'm not intensely sure where this last player is. Okay, let us see. He might be down below inside the tunnels there. This could be where this last player is, or at least, of course, top 5 right now. There's still going to be 3 other players besides him, but can't see him in the road, which means he could be maybe in piano room, maybe underneath. Alright guys, I am also going to be watching this sort of zip line up top here where players might be trying to come up as well. Checking the back entrance here of the tunnel. I want to make sure, is there a player maybe trying to make their way out here, trying to sneak up behind us? There we go, he's come up the zip line. I just heard that zip line. Right, some cheeky damage there. I want to say that's polarity. Is there a player coming to our side? Yes, there was. I heard the sliding there. I'm going to rotate out of this, guys. And hopefully we should be able to potentially make it rather to safety. If I can take it behind these hills here, we should be able to have that high ground there. The actual slope of the hills protect us, you know, from those shots. Alright. Taking the gloves now, guys. We can actually go and use this shockwave. Fortunately, no sight of the... Oh. There we are, making our way up on top of this hill. Perfect. Now we do have the low ground here. I can hear old mate as well going for the glider. Potentially gliding on top of us. Check behind ourselves there. There he is. Oh, unlucky for the full damage there on Shay. Right, well played to Shay, guys. Not too sure where that Ziggy went. But there is going to be another car here in the forest. Alright, the purple there for the iron. Alright, it's cheeky shockwave. We'll go and use this. I'm going to heal ourselves up behind this big tree. Shotgun out in hand. I'm going to try and bait him into the car. He doesn't want to join us, though. Alright, let's go up to the high ground now. We don't need to fight this, guys. We can go and take this up to where we have that positional advantage. Alright, let us go up now. He's going to try and blow out the car. But we should be able to grab this high ground on top of Snowy Mountain instead. Its partial see-through, the skinless ones, has empty portions in its arm. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. I'm going to try and curl around the corner here, taking as minimal damage as possible. 6:15 here in Michigan. I always lose to a Sabrina Carpenter. Now that is an age-old tale right there, I can promise you. Alright, we do have this staff here, guys. We check that all of our guns are reloaded. Alright, we've got some action down there. I can see old mate going with that glider underneath the bridge. He's getting chased as well. And those are the last two players, guys. So if we can actually third party this, that would be actually really, really good for us right now. I want to see if I can't capture them maybe off guard in this bush here. Right, it does depend on their rotation, but actually with the way the zone is pushing. Oh, they're getting into a fight. Let's try and go back now. It's risky. This is definitely a risky thing to go for. We've got the high ground. There's also going to be the jump pad, guys, up top here. So not all hope is lost. We are going to have some sort of form of repositioning here. Alright, if we can, of course, make our way over here rather sooner than later. There we go. Old mate is flying as well. He's got the low ground there. I'm keeping an eye on him. I want to try and... Okay, we do have a car. Okay, nothing too crazy there. We'll go and grab this, and we're going to go take this up top to our favorite camping spot, guys. For those of you who've already been watching the channel for a while now, who've already hit that like button and that subscribe button, you guys will know well and truly about this spot. Alright, now whereabouts could he be? He could be behind the ice cream truck there. I'm also trying to be mindful about the slurp truck as well. Oh no, there he is. Alright, he's captured some zone there, which is more than fair enough, guys. Right, he is going to be heading on into Wonky. We are going to have a Wonky zone. A little bit shame that we couldn't get rid of the Ziggy earlier on. They do seem to be quite a persistent player. But I'm very excited to see how we'll be able to go, whatever the case. Did you get to use the fireworks yesterday, everyone? I sure did. G'day, Solo Rider. Good to see you, bro. The pig skin is not my bad omen. Guaranteed that skin kills me every time it's in the same game as me. Yeah, I feel that. Sully says, I used the fireworks yesterday. Oh. I should probably not be reading chat so frequently when I'm doing some high stakes sort of plays here. Shock waving out. Healing up if possible. Glove for high ground. And now we reposition behind the safety and cover of these buildings. Alright, we still got some glove usages. Let's make sure that everything is switched over correctly. And now we're going to be ensuring that our weapons are reloaded. Going to the other side of this house here. We're going to use this slope as our cover. He wants to peek. He's more than welcome to, but if he starts to shoot at us, we might need to fall back behind this building. And these wacky wavy inflatable flailing arm tube men, guys, they are going to be absolutely distracting there. Kind of want to bait him out as well, but it can be quite risky. I know that he's going to want to peek there. We do have to go past him. This is going to be really, really tricky for us. What we could probably do... My hands are very, very cold this morning, guys. You know when it gets really cold and then the blood starts to not quite flow? That's what's going on right now for me, so I'm a little bit worried about this. Gonna see if we can't sneak around the corner here. Alright, we've got a shockwave, which we can use. But wouldn't mind trying to get the jump on this guy, though. Like doing this, guys. See this? See if we can't do it. It might be a little risky. But if we can sneak up behind him... Oh, we reckon he saw us. Ah, unlucky there, guys. Unlucky. We should have taken a couple of shots, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to stick with stealth, if possible. All right, there we are. And again, we're going to remain very, very stealthy. Okay. He should be right in this building next to us. I see those footsteps. I'm checking the windows. Trying to see, can we get some shots off on him maybe? Maybe we'll be able to. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's done. Look, well played to that Ziggy. That was very intense. Guys, that was absolutely incredible. Alright, a lot of endgame 1v1s had fireworks shows, Yuyamoto says. Fair play, yeah. It was really good. I was actually using the fireworks. You guys will see it in tomorrow's episode, but we were using them to sort of bait players as well. You know, when I was trying to hunt some firework players, I'd see the firework name there, guys, of some of these different players there, and I'd be like, oh, that's the person with, you know, 3,000 rivalry wins. And then we sort of hunted them like that. And it actually turned out or worked out really, really well some of the time. So it was really good to see. GG's, guys. Good to see you, man, A level. Congrats, Jude says. Thanks, bro. All right, let's see if we can just go on. Do not disturb here. Sorry, guys. Alright, there we are. We'll try and run it back, guys, now for the crown win. We're going to do a humble hills drop today. Even with cold fingers, CC says. They're very, very cold. Very cold. I'm going to try and warm them up right now. See if we can give them a bit of a hug there. I was holding my breath for that last bit. Videos AKTBZ said. It was crazy. Sometimes, man, I tell you. Really good, though, when you do get those games and things do pan out well. You know, it's one of the reasons why I love the Nemis so much, right? It's because it is going to be very hard hitting, and for the most part, if you get that tap fight right, it's going to be pretty consistent as well. Who have we got here? Alright, some decent wins in there. 3,500 there for that player. Alright, in terms of where we're going on the map, they don't want us to go to Humble. We're going to go do a Dark Dominion drop instead. My hands were shaking and I wasn't even playing it. Smooth said. Fair play. Send him back to the lobby. Well played, old mate. Thanks, Sharon. Appreciate you. Alright, guys. We're going to try and get as low of a drop as possible here. In terms of our rivalry points, I will be needing to spend these relatively soon, especially when you guys consider just how close we are to this next season. Grabbing some ammunition. We will be getting that super shredder. Got plenty of heals here. Alright, enough for full shield off of drop, which is going to make all the difference. I feel like if you guys can get full shield straight off of drop, or at least relatively quickly, yeah, this is where you guys are going to have just a massive amount of edge there. Alright, beautiful. There we go. I feel like we've got this in the bag now, guys. The combat assault rifle is going to be absolutely key. Alright, this is going to be one of the most overpowered weapons in the early game, in my opinion. I genuinely believe that wholeheartedly, guys. This is just something which has a really nice fire rate, and especially if you tap fire, it has a pretty decent and significant damage there, as you can see. Right, it's really, really nice, guys. Really tidy of a gun here. Alright, we can go for some gold from these cash registers. Alright, another green iron pump making its way onto the floor loot there. Alright, another big boy. Might as well take it, why not? And I am going to go for the bunkers here, actually. I think, you know what, why not? Let's go and run the bunkers for just a little bit. You know, maybe we'll get to use it. I was thinking about maybe continuing to carry the, well, grab some of that there. You can also go grab some more ammunition for this. Alright, we got some shots just over nearby, guys. I do want to get a move on, though. So I'm going to go take this rift, and we'll go and see if we can't maybe make our way up on top of a mountain or something. Oh, I think there's some footsteps out here. I could be mistaken. Alright, we've got our rifle there. We're taking now this rift. Alright, the golden fishing spot. Oh no, someone's actually right there. Right now. Let's take the high ground. Alright, they are going to be getting away there. We've also got a shockwave though, guys. So, gliding in on top of them now. I see where they're at. They're going to the house. They're on the right side of this building here. I'm going to curl around to this side. I'm looking for those footsteps. Oh. Now we should just rush these players. Hopefully we can wait for that. Oh, legendary there. Loss FFN going down there. Well played to you, bro. Something that we did there, guys, I really want to sort of highlight was when we got into that close range sort of situation. Oh, he's got the Midas flopper. You guys will notice maybe I actually crouched when we sort of had that peeking opportunity. Alright, like we were waiting for him around the corner here. And instead of trying to jump, I actually crouched there. Alright, which I feel was actually quite helpful. Alright, we go for that iron pump. We've got as well some of these gloves here. I will need actually some form of medkit, but I'm thinking we might go back up top to the mountain here. And we'll go and see what he had left over. Night, chat and butter. Good night, Roger. Thanks for joining us, bro. Right, I'm up in 5 hours. Work, mate. Have fun, and I'll watch your video tomorrow. Good night, butter. Good night, smooth stud number 1. Thanks, bro, for checking in. Alright, guys, we've got a slurp fish here for some white health. Alright, fun fact, the Midas flopper as well, guys, is going to be another brilliant way to get that white health. Oh, wrong button there. That could have been disastrous. We do actually have the twin siphon shotguns there. Look, honestly, I'm not even too sure I'm a massive fan of these siphon shotguns. I think they're good, but I think I would much prefer to be able to send a player back a lot more quickly with that iron pump there. Then say try to sustain, you know, an extra 20, 30 health. Do we have any, like, immediate white health? No, we don't. It's Monkey 16 going down. Well played to Monkey. Alright, guys, we'll go and heal up underneath the sort of floorboards here, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out on the high ground over towards the north there. Fortunately for us, very fortunately for us, guys, we are going to have a Caduceus staff here to get us up right over that distance there. Right, again, we've got some more shots, so why not make our way over? You can see old mate's just sort of standing still there. See if we can't escape this fight. A little bit of health there, guys. And we're just going to rotate out Alright, I thought we might have been able to get that jump on him, but unfortunately he was very quick to react, so always good to see when a player can do that. It's always a bit of a challenge. We can now finally reload that gun there. And again, we're still running with the legendary on the combat, which not a gun that we're massively comfortable with here, but not something that we're all too unfamiliar with either. I would much rather prefer, guys, a Nemi for the long range. So we've done some damage there. All right, we shot some shots. We don't need to stay by it. All right, if I don't feel comfortable in that fight, I'm just going to rotate like we're doing now. You know what? Let's go and grab this Thunderburst. All right, we've got some more. What have we got here? The Void Oni Mask. Really, really good. Unfortunately, I feel like the Oni Mask right now, guys, is going to be a little bit weaker for a lot of players. You know, I feel like there's a lot stronger picks out there right now in terms of mobility, whether it's the gloves, whether it's going to be your pocket shock, right, whether it's going to be those overdrive grenades as well. I feel like everything is just so fast moving right now. I don't like this low ground. Old mate's got the G-Wagon, but there's still some players down there. He's on top. Alright, you know what, guys? Let's go over now. We do see old mate getting into a bit of a firefight there. A little bit abysmal, but you know what, guys? We are not going to cry over said spilt milk. Alright, we're going to rotate around to the other side of this mountain here. Alright, there he is. Unfortunate, but look, well played to Nixie, guys. 11 HP, very close one. Alright, we'll go and play another. We'll see how we go. But look, well played to that player. In hindsight, I would have probably preferred to have continued to shoot with the Thunderburst, or maybe try and land a cheeky little iron pump shot beforehand. But you know what? The better player won at the end of the day, so shout out to him. Good to see you, Trent. Always good to see Trent. I made sure I did. Daddy Laser said, smash that like. Thanks for reminder, eyes. Love how positive you are and how you compliment other players. Action Jackson says. Thanks, bro. Sora says, Saturday I fished up the Midas flopper 3 times with a grey rod. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I was a bit worried they were making it too common, but it's been a while since I've found one. So, sounds like you just had a really good day, maybe. Of course, the South Park skin here. The weapon switching behind the cover. Nixie is going to be pinned here. Trying to go for those jump shots. He will activate. Alright, the NPC there. Getting sent back by the cartman. Hello, Mr. Butter. Benny Flores says, GG's, bro. Alright, guys. Let's try and work on some mistakes here. Let's try and warm these hands up. Let us see, of course, where this battle bus will be dropping. I would really like to get a nice Humble Hills drop today. That's really what my eyes are going to be set on. I feel like that could be really, really fun. Right, if we can go there, we know that we have got the fishing spots down by the lake. Alright, we could then maybe rotate up to Mountain, go to Dominion. You know, there's a few different ways we could go about this. Head over to Sandy eventually. And we can really tear up a lot of that, majority of that center of the lobby there. Relatively with ease. So again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and if you guys are going to be buying anything in the item shop, it would mean the absolute world to me. But if you could please use creator code, surely it's butter, the next time you're there. Thanks, Yuya. Appreciate you. Shannon said, hope you have lots of wins today and she'll watch the rest of the vid after school. Thanks, Shannon. You have a good day, mate. Alright, guys. We are going to be landing down here. Alright, let's go get that auto run on. I did get a little bit distracted there, but you know what? We'll run it back for another Duck Dominion game today. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling hopeful. We'll see if we can't get, of course, some cheeky little heals off a drop there. But importantly, I want to be looking for an actual gun because the where we dropping pistol is... Oh. You know what? We're just going to let that one happen. We're just going to let that one happen. We're going to change the skin, guys. I think I figured it out. We're having some performance anxiety, potentially. We need to change the skin. You know, I feel like when in doubt, that's what you guys want to be doing. So, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to put on the winning skin. All right, the Oathbound Alexa for today's episode. All right, let's see if we can run it back here. All right. GG's, you get the W next. I bought heaps this past week. Hope you get a good cut. Thanks so much, Nana. I noticed that. I really do appreciate you. Now, you guys have been killing it lately. This is really cool as well. Have a look at this. This skin, apparently the last time it was in this shop was 1,000 days ago. It's kind of crazy. I'm curious what you guys do with the skins. If you see one that was kind of rare, is that something you guys want to go for now because it is in the shop? It's no longer rare. Like, how does that actually work? Sharon says, yeah, I picked up a couple of cheeky purchases too using your creator code. You're the best, Sharon. Lol, nobody saw that. It happens to everyone, Yuya says. Oh, it happens to the best of us at most certainly the best of times. You know, I feel like that's that goes without saying. But we're going to lock in, guys. We're going to lock in. I wouldn't mind going for a pistol game today. And again, look, the FORTNITE gods, they do be delivering. They have given us another blue chest for the Humble Hills. So we're going to go and run it down, guys. We're going to check it out. Okay, going to fire it up. See you all in game. See you there, eyes dried open. Have you seen the Season 3 trailer? I have not. Maybe we should watch that. That could be pretty cool. I have not seen it. Is it good? We'll go and land down here, guys. And as we do, I'm going to do a quick little check because why not? We've got Itsy Girl Ash with 3.2k wins. Can't quite recall any other names there, but you know what? I'm feeling quite hopeful for this game, guys. Let's see if we can't get this win. Oh. Old mate's going to be inside there. On top. Goo Goo Gaga will be going down there with the hammer revolver. Appreciate you for that one. Alright, let's go and get some of this ammunition and some heals. You know, like, honestly, guys, why not? Alright, we are going to drop that where you dropping pistol relatively quickly. Alright, we don't like to hold on to this. It's going to be, honestly, more trouble than it's worth a lot of the time. I feel like for some players out there, it might be quite nice to have, but for me, I much prefer to try to find just honestly anything else there. Right? Anything that I can find is going to be honestly better, in my opinion, than that where we're dropping pistol. Alright, let's go and get these dashes up. Okay, make sure you guys do hold out these pulse pistols when you are trying to run with them, okay? And it is going to make all the difference, especially if we can get our hands on a pair of, well, nice little iron pump there. Alright, we got some long range ability there with the Nemi. We'll go and switch this. Coming on in now with some more ammunition. We've got another chest inside this room. No? A little bit of a sneaky shot there, but go and use this to make your way over to the pool room. First person view was definitely a weird thing for me to see at the start. You know, I was a little bit taken aback by it. You know, when I first had a go of these pistols. Ooh, the legendary for the chaos. We could give it a go. Is it going to be something that we're all too comfortable with? No. Is it going to be something that I feel is going to be, in my opinion, the greatest shotgun in the game? Again, no. Right, guys, that would obviously be reserved, for me anyway, to the iron pump shotgun. And you know what? A nice pair of twins like this as well. Okay, blue there for the Nemi. We'll definitely go and grab that. And then another chest here. Okay, a brand new staff, which could be quite tidy, but fortunately for us, we are going to be finishing off with the 6 there on the splashes. Alright, let's go and see what the fishing spots have for us today, guys. I can hear some shots towards mountain area, but Oh no. Old mate's going to be over here. Alright, another player over to yonder there. We've got 10 seconds until that new shockwave is up. Might go for the reload and then we'll shockwave over. Oh. Sure, I just heard someone shockwave over to us. Oh, okay. I see your movement. Now that's a sweaty player if I ever have seen one. Nixie going down. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our revenge from last game. We got Nixie. I thought that player looked a bit familiar. Unfortunately for Nixie, guys, they will not be sending it back there. So, well played to them. What? Nixie, are you watching the stream right now, bro? Is that what we've got going on here? A little bit of a stream sniper situation, potentially. I totally forgot about this guy. Might just quickly finish him off here. Right, Dens will be going down there. Unfortunate for the Goku. He does drop us a golden gun. I can't quite exactly see what that is. I hope it's not a... No, it is going to be the iron pump. Alright, well, let's go then. Thanks, bro. We got some revenge. Sora says, notice you haven't been free-fall dropping all that often with your landings. Yeah, look, honestly, I like to try and do it, but I can't get a nice little... Most of the time, I feel quite comfortable with my drops, you know? I feel like that's just sort of how it works for me. But if I do need to, you know, like today, like in this episode, guys, yeah, I'm going to try and do it. I just feel like it really just depends on, like, the actual POI that I'm dropping out. Alright, and drop I get, because I try and get a pretty good drop anyway. I feel like the free-for-all dropping was definitely a great sort of addition there for a lot of the newer players especially. So I don't personally get a whole lot of benefit out of it, but I can definitely recognize that I still try to use it occasionally. I just might not be doing it in certain ones. If we can find some gloves, I feel like that's really what I'm after there. I was about to say, I can see some purple just down by the stocks. I really hope it is, and fortunately for us guys, we are going to be lucky enough to get some of these gloves here. So we'll go and rotate now. We'll go and check out the top of this mountain. Alright, we'll see what we can get. Yo, Butter Family, Daddy Laser says, anyone watch the FNCS finals today? Genuinely got emotional watching Vico cry, thanking his mother, very happy for him. I have not personally seen that. I haven't been keeping up to date with the championships there, but that sounds really heartwarming to hear. Apparently, the Carlton dance from Fresh Prince is the rarest thing in the game. I'll have to check that out, Sid. Action Jackson says, I want the Gear Specialist Maya run. That was such a good one. I remember me and the boys back in the day, we all got our Gear Specialist Mayas to be designed a certain way. And I went for a bush camper sort of vibe there with the hat, the boonie hat. So, that was pretty cool. My son just pointed out to me that this is my first chapter I've played. The whole thing started 7 months ago. Time flies when you're having fun. I love that, Nana. That's so cool. Yuya says, nice one. Nana says, I love the free fall. Yuya says, definitely splatter a bunch of times. Tell me about it. I splattered the other day, actually. It took me by surprise there. I'm not too sure what happened, but I tried the jump and I didn't quite nail it. Oh, someone on top of the building there. We'll go for cover. Let's see if we can't. You know what? Flying around to the side. Shotgun out in hand. Ooh. Go for right shoulder peek. He wants to. I'm going to crouch now so as to not give off any of those visual audios. And we're going to see if we can't surprise this player a bit. Whoa. Old School will be going down there. Well played to Old School. Nearly got us there with those gloves. I tell you, it reminded me of maybe trying to capture a fly there inside of a house. It just kept going all over the place. Alright, causing a bit of mischief there as I was spraying it with some Mortine. But we'll go and use this stuff now, guys. We'll go and heal up. Alright, the pistol is going to be quite excellent for a whole lot of different situations there. And I'll tell you, one of the best ones is going to be when you're close range like that. You know, close, medium range, it doesn't really matter, guys. The pistol is going to, more often than not, reign totally supreme. Let's go now, guys. We'll try and find some more of these other players. That one mosquito, holy says, exactly. That one mosquito, indeed. I'm going to go into the passenger seat here. Try and go for that reload. I don't want to leave the car, guys. Whenever I get out of the car, I typically want to try to hold down the S key there. You know, I want to try and prevent it from rolling all too far, because imagine if we do, you know, sort of get taken off guard there, right, by these other players. What if we get third-partied, for example? Right, you want to have close sort of proximity there to your car to be able to get out of that fight or that sticky situation, you know, a whole lot more efficiently and effectively. Alright, I check if the bosses are there. They most certainly are. Of course, another fishing spot here. I would like to go for maybe upgrading the pistol. Of course, this should only be costing us, or rather so, setting us back about 20 there for the tokens. Oh. I thought maybe for a moment there that the Ice King was the one who would set us as the rival there, but okay, guys, we've now got Dara Derail. Right, 13 as our next sort of rival. Right, we are going to have what looks to be a triangle zone. Now, this is going to be quite interesting. I wouldn't mind maybe going over to the gas station towards Sandy. We'll go and refuel this car, and then we'll go and position ourselves maybe on high ground. I feel like if we head over towards the snowy biome there of Frigid, it can be a little bit hit and miss, but I am going to be quite confident, alright, in the fact that we should be able to use this card to position ourselves quite adequately. Yuya says, Morty equals Aussie Raid Spray. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Hi, bros. Wow, cool Fortnite Borderlands fan says, massive shout out to you, bro. Oh. Bit of a bug there with switching to that pistol. Didn't quite let us aim down sight. Go and force this player out of the bush. He's going to grab that car, surely. Alright, he is going to be healing up there. Unfortunately for us, guys, I would like to use the shockwave, but now is our time. Now we can use the shockwave, guys. Oh. Do we go and chase this player? Do we try to follow up on them? Right, they are going to now have, of course, the... Very, very good movement on this player. We can now reload the gun. We do have their car captured. I just want to be trying to... Oh. Unfortunately, guys, it looks like we will be at the mercy here of the shockwave. Alright, let's see what we can do, of course. I'm going to let him go for now. Hopefully, we won't live to regret this decision. But I want to try and get some health here on this car. Alright, we are not going to get too greedy here. Alright, hopefully, guys, we should be able to send him back later on. Alright, are there any major do's or don'ts, Nana says? I would say one of the major don'ts, guys, is going to be not trying to overchase someone. Alright, yes, we could have chased this play. Yes, we might have been able to get that kill. Alright, but you want to be mindful of doing so, because again, we got a relatively smaller zone here, or at least it's becoming smaller. You don't know who's watching you. Alright, and if you get tunnel visioned on these players, you might lose sight of the overarching goal, which is, well, one of them anyway, is to get that win. Alright, so you might be losing focus on trying to capture high ground. You might be losing focus on trying to position yourself in a way where you can sort of be able to position yourself around cover or around these different areas in a way that does give you a greater chance of winning the game. And whilst getting a kill would be nice, alright, one is going to be weighted a little bit more than the other. And I feel like if you do hyper fixate on some players, alright, you can often run the risk of just missing the forest, for those trees there. So we are, of course, going to have ourselves up high here. Alright, I wouldn't mind a brand new staff. I'm going to go down, actually, and we'll go and check inside this POI and see if we can't find one, because I feel like that's all we really need, right? It's going to be a nice staff. Can hear a car coming up around the distance there. Alright, this is going to be our rival. He grabs the other car. Right, he's going to blow up our vehicle. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, there we go. This car has seen better days. That's all we know for sure, guys. I want to be mindful not to overspray, though, because if he does try to hit us back, or maybe jump out, then we've suddenly got no real room there to actually shoot at him with. We will have no ammunition there. And again, whilst we do have this player there, we do still have 4 other players remaining, and I have no idea where they're at, which can make for... Oh! Unbelievable there. Unfortunate, but look, well played to that player. He ran into my gloves. Absolutely diabolical. Alright, we do have some splashes over to yonder here. Look, well played to that player there, guys. That was honestly a close call. Morning, Scrambles. Good to see ya. I can hear Butter say, always check your weak spots. Let's defend angles. Oh, the least defended angles there. I totally get what you're saying. Alright, we do actually have a chest over to there, but we're going to make our way outside of this tunnel, guys. Of course, pickaxe out. Alright, we are going to be trying to maintain. We're at the most speed. We're at most stamina here. Sora says, damn, that was nice. Nana says, he made you work for that, didn't he? Just, I tell you what. I can't say I've had a lazy morning today, that's for sure. Alright, let's go now, guys. Shockwave out. We'll go and reposition. If we can find a car, that is great. If we can find a car. Do I think we're going to find a car? No. Unfortunately, I do not, guys. But we're going to give it a fair crack. Go for this rival. Reloading where possible. Rat Country 8328. Alright, is that the Yuki skin? I forget what that skin's called. I actually just used that as the thumbnail for tomorrow's episode. So, that's always cool to see a skin like that. It's a new one. Something different. Damn, that was the first time I've seen that interaction, Holy says. Honestly, same. That was kind of crazy. Alright, we are going to be on the outskirts here, guys. We'll go for the shockwave. Alright, into the glider. And we're going to try and rotate around the long way here. Alright, it might be a little bit tricky. But essentially, I want to try to avoid running directly into our rival there. Okay, and he seems to be pocketing us in that corner. He's waiting for us, essentially. Oh, there he is. Alright, shockwave going out here. Into, of course, the glider. We've now got high ground. Is he down below? There should be a nice little wind tunnel here. If we jump off, I'm pretty sure it should be able to... Well, we've still got the redeploy. Using the tree as natural cover there. I'll try to fly in front of that tree as much as possible. Alright. We can make our way down, of course. Okay, he's inside the main building. Just in that doorway there. He's behind the door. Okay. We've made it into the city, guys. Let's see how we go with this. We'll go and heal up the remainder of that health. Just going to warm up my hands real quickly. And let's see how we go with this, guys. So, we are going to be towards the northern side of the zone. All made, of course, just down below there. Oh. Just across the road there. I want to try and force this fight really, really quickly. Oh, we're stuck on the umbrella. Right, old mate is going to be inside there. Probably already healed up. Let's just go and make our way on top of zone, guys. We'll go and rotate. Alright, we've asserted a lot of dominance there. We've also, alright, shown this player, alright, to expend as much heals as possible. Alright, old mate on top of the mountain. I could go for some really nice shots here, but I don't want to really give away my positioning. I do just want to try and remain stealthy right now. Alright, we know that we have our rivalry inside of zone here. He's still out there. Alright, he's got to come towards us. We could take him off guard just by waiting in this bush. The only downside or potential negative thing that could happen right now is that he can see us with that circle. Okay. Did miss him a little bit there. A little bit unfortunate, guys, but that's okay. We know roughly where this player's at. He does have some high ground. He does have some cover. Alright, we do, of course, have two other players left in the lobby right here. Oh, he might be dead here. Try and go for the reload. Rat Country going down. Again, guys, look. Well played to Rat Country. That was definitely a decent player, and it's always a privilege to be going up against these kind of players. Right, it always gets the heart going, it gets the blood pumping, and that is always going to be something I'm grateful for, guys. Makes me remember that we are alive. Now, do we go for this rivalry? Alright, if they have each other as rivalries already, it won't work, but it looks like we are going to be fortunate enough to be able to do that. Alright, we've got Bunda Tutu over there. Right behind, of course, the main sort of building. Alright, I'm going to try and rotate up around to the side. And again, I want to get some high ground here. There could be a player up there. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's where one of them was before. I really don't like our positioning here. I want to try and find somewhere a little bit closer to zone. Alright, this is what we're going to do. We'll go behind the rock. Let's go and just mark the center of the zone just so we can see. Alright, that's where we've got to go. Very, very risky, guys, to be doing this, especially late game, because you never know, who is nearby you, where all the other players are, and you could be just jumping down onto another player. I'm watching the high ground on that mountain there. Checking around, we check our back. I just want to make sure that there wasn't someone on top of that cliff face. And now we've cleared our back here. I've cleared this area. Oh. Okay, there he is, up on top. That's why, guys, we want to be mindful of this high ground players. Right, unfortunately for this player here, we're now getting shot at from behind. Isn't good for us. I want this overshield to be up. He could be in that bush. And try and sneak around to the side there. He's probably behind that rock. Yeah, there he is. If I shockwave over to him to finish off the kill, we're not going to have a shockwave to get out of there. He's already healing up with that staff. Alright, we're going to fly over here, guys. Grab this high ground. Using the wand where possible. Is this in the zone? It's not going to be. if we can't make our way back inside of the circle there. Heal up where possible with the staff. We still got another player, which I'm really worried about. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game. How good was that? Well played to those guys. How good. Bit chilly this morning, Nana says. I tell ya, it's crazy this morning. Look at that, guys. What a game. Oh, okay. Nothing too crazy, but let's run it back, guys. Let's have a bit of a water break, guys. GG's to all of those players. All right, Jude says, do you switch to the passenger seat to reload or heal while car is moving? Sometimes I kind of try to not get in the habit of doing that because personally, when I see a car, I like to watch these car players. You know, you can hear these car players and you can sort of be able to just shoot at them because they are going to be stationary inside of a vehicle. Right, so I don't like being a sitting duck. I like to try to go somewhere else. Try to rotate to safety to some cover where I know I'm fully protected and then I'll heal there. But I finally got you live, mate. Cliz says, how freaking annoying was that community day? Like fun, yeah, for a little while. By the end, I was losing my mind at the pew pew so broken. I get where you're coming from with that, Kiz. Cliz, I'm not a massive fan of the finger guns. I didn't like April Fool's Day because of them. I thought they were fun to use, but they are a little bit broken in the right hands, so I get it. Inside the big yellow flower, Speeding says, GG's action, GG's holy, W, thanks Borderlands, thanks video AKTBZ. See you, bro. Nice to see you again. GG's by Paul Davies. Eyes says, sent gold trophy for 1,000 jewels. You're the best, bro. Thanks, Eyes. Appreciate you, man. Damn, butter melted them, lol. Tocito says the skin switch strategy paid off. Look, I'm saying, I feel like I've been a long-term supporter out of this strategy, guys. It's definitely one that a lot of players out there should, you know, look into because I'm telling you, there's some method to the madness there. Thanks, Borderlands, for the jewels, bro. Appreciate you guys with the donations. Nana says, GG's, Mr. Butter. Cece says, GG's. 16 degrees on the Gulf Coast. Ooh. Yeah, she's a bit chilly today. I tell you. I'm a little bit up north, but no, I tell you, I'm feeling it. Try gold, Nana says. Gold Coast. You can boost and run it without being in the seat. It will keep moving. Okay. That's a good idea, actually. I like that. I like that. Yuya says, GG's awesome game. GG's from Zed. Sharon says, you've inspired me to log in and play a game or two myself. I'll catch the rest of the stream later. Have a good one, mate. Have a good one, Sharon. Good on you, bro. Good luck, eh? Keen to hear how you go. Let me know down below and maybe the comments section later. Alright, guys. What have we got? We could go Riptides. But we could go get the Mythic. The Mythic could be fun. This could be good. Alright, I don't mind the Mythic I'm pumped there. What is everyone's favorite Mythic? I'm curious to hear it. Don't know if the bus driver is going to take us over there, but we'll give it a fair crack. Oh, surely not, Nana. You'll be fine. We got this. You and me. Alright, let's go down. We're going to do a squibbly game today, guys. Alright, if the bus drivers want to let us, maybe we'll go check out Riptides later on. But for now, you know what? Let's be grateful. I like squibbly. This is somewhere that I don't often land a lot. So every time I do land here, it's like a bit of a reward, if you will. Bit of a treat. Go and grab these guns. Of course, some quick ammunition there for the taking. Gonna be dropping the How You Going pistol. That's what I'm gonna be calling it from now on very, very soon. And here's some players over there. Right, flying on and down. So As soon as we get that faster fire rate, we drop these other weapons, guys. Alright, less is going to be more. Alright, if we have that ability to only use X amount of weapons, alright, we're going to be more sort of focused on making sure we land those shots rather than otherwise. Alright, spicy fish is going to be great for that mobility, guys. Have a look at this movement speed. And we might try and get the mythic there for Squibbly. Have some extra shield there, and again, we still have this spicy fish effect, which is going to be a really sort of one of the biggest perks about Squibbly, I think, is that you're going to have access to a lot of these custom fish, which does make it a nice change of pace compared to a lot of the other POIs that are out there, right, that don't actually have, you know, these sort of special fish lying around. Right, we go for the slurp fish. Right, beautiful. We do have one more spicy fish left, guys. We'll go and use that. Right, I'll pick up this slurp. And I want to try and maybe fish up here, because we do have a few of these golden fishing spots for the taking. And you know what? If we got lucky, we might have gotten a... Oh, not too sure what that sound was. I thought it might have been a player jumping on us. 16. It's 11 here, Scramble says. That's crazy. 14 here, and it's just past midnight, Zez says. Lol. Back to back. Let's go, Yuya. Appreciate you. Alright, let's go and make our way over to the other fishing spot now, guys. Oh. I wish we had some form of glove here, guys. You know what? Oh, we don't actually have any ammunition. I want to pick up this purple sort of Thunderburst. Go for high ground. See if we can't find old mate potentially around to the corner here. Half-eaten pizza. We'll be going back to the lobby. Well played, the half-eaten pizza. I don't know where that other player was though, guys. This wasn't the player that we were trying to find or go up against before. They have managed to escape us here, so... Oh, they're going out with those scanners. I want to try and see where he shoots these scanners from. That's going to be my goal. When you are going up against these players who are using that recon scanner, do be mindful that it is going to be a projectile. And so you can roughly see where it's coming from. I would love a pair of gloves here. That would be really helpful as well in terms of mobility. He's back on the dock. It's a greedy fisherman if I ever have seen one, guys. Alright. We're going to go for the shockwave here. Unfortunate for Nat there. I'm sorry, bro. He's got the exotic recon bow. So this seems to be, what, a recon scanner, but in a bow format. It doesn't quite show me. Oh, he does have some gloves there. We'll take that. Alright, guys. We'll go and get a move on now. Yeah, we'll head on out of this POI and we'll go and check out maybe somewhere else, of course. We are going to have quite a ways to go here. Going to 9 degrees tomorrow morning, Nana says. Yeah, sorry, was playing. Yeah, switch seats after boosting the car. Oh. Do we reload? No, okay. Oh. Uh-oh. Try and go for some form of heals here. Old mate, of course, getting third-partied by that player that we were going up against just a moment ago. Oh, wow. Okay, he's made his way all the way up there with a porta bunker, which is, this is probably the first time I've actually seen one being used by another player in quite a while. I do want to make my way to zone. We do have the main sort of... Oh. Okay, he's watching us. If I go for the shockwave out here, he's probably going to just completely decimate us there. We'll go for this car instead. That's going to be Blade Zuff there. Alright, guys, as our rival on top of that building. So again, we don't need to be trying to rush these fights. We don't need to go for every fight that we find ourselves in. We can look for an out, And we can also do so in a way where we're actually, like, instead of just shockwaving out there, I sort of figured out, okay, he's got that high ground. He knows where we are. Like, that guy would have just shot at us as we were shockwaving out, right? He would have probably killed us there. Right, I checked down for a car. We got lucky with the car. Alrighty. We don't have a gold fishing spot here. Right, it looks like someone has taken it, guys. But we are going to have a scar there, which some players are saying is actually quite underrated. Right, let me know down in the chat, guys. What are your thoughts on that gold scar that you get from that Midas flopper? Is it worth it? Again, we do some damage and we go and rotate to somewhere else. We know players are going to be hunting the visual audios, so we are not going to be staying in the same place. Reloading, I'm checking the tunnel exit. I think I see a one down here, so we'll go and pick up this Caduceus staff. And then hopefully, should be able to make our way out to a little bit of safety there. Alright, beautiful. Alright, low fuel isn't going to be the greatest thing in the world for us, guys, but we are going to have high ground. So there's definitely worse places to run out of fuel with. Alright, try and keep ourselves from going off the top there. Alright, I see him. He's actually inside the house running around. Right, if he was in a bit of an action, right, a bit of a firefight there, I would have liked to have maybe... Okay, he sees us. We'll make our way here, guys. We will be having a diamond zone today, which is going to mean that this zone will end over in sandy strips. So, I'm going to try and find some cover here, guys. I'm going to have a quick little water break. Alright, we are back here, guys. Let's go and see. Alright, thankful for a North American spring. 70 degrees over there for eyes. Alright, CC says fair. Don't talk to us about this in January also. Fair play. You need to pull and hold the bow to see the target marker. Does good damage, but really hard to hit moving target. Okay, interesting. Found a car down here, guys. We're going to go for this instead. Oh, wow. I'm not too sure what that sound was. It sounded like someone was trying to track us in the air, but I could be mistaken. Go and grab this car and we'll take her around the corner. Cliz says, at CC, you can keep them winters to yourselves. Love to visit the mountains for a week, but not all winter. Jude says, you might see me a Terminator lagging around next round with 200 ping. Oh, God. Oh, see if we can knock him up. Out of that driver's seat temporarily. If we can't rotate around there. Jumping back into the car to avoid. Of course, what this player should be doing, guys, is trying to blow us up here. YM backs will be going down there, dropping us the crown. Look. Oh. There's someone shooting at us, or am I mistaken? Golden there for the iron pump. I swear I can hear shots. I'm not too sure what is going on here. Okay, guys, this is very, very tormenting. But look, well played to that player. Unfortunately, guys, car strats are going to be really, really strong. Especially if you guys do have that knack of... Oh, there was a player there. A curl around to the high ground. Alright. Unfortunately, Anonymous will be going down there. We do have some rivalry points here. We could probably go and try and upgrade this gun, but real quick, I'm going to try and read out a few more of those chats, guys, there. What do we got? Jude coming in for the stream snipe, hey. Hey, glad to see you streaming, buddy. Good to see you, Mr. Pig. Shout out to Mr. Pig, guys. Agmanate, hey, butter. Hi, chat. Hope everyone having a good weekend. Hope you're doing well this weekend, Agmane. How many wins so far? I think it's 2 or 3, as Holy says. Yeah. It's cold in Melbourne, Moto says. Liz says, Agmanate, how you doing, mate? I seen you were on Fortnite yesterday. I'll send you invite next time. It was only on for 1, or I would have. Alright, we'll go for high ground here, guys. Again, pickaxe out. We do have a car we can use. Take that back. She's a bit dry there in the fuel department. Fee was fighting the car, Yuya says. I love that. Yeah, they most certainly were there. And I feel like that's why the car strat can be really important, guys. Just to have a car, you know, just to have something to jump into can honestly make all the difference there. All right, there is someone right there over at the gas station. So I'm going to hide inside this main building until our shockwave is up. And then we'll go and make our way over there. Just trying to see what type of items are actually on the ground. It's going to be the combat there. So just some green. All right, we do have a chest here. Oh, hey, AIM. Didn't know you were in Butter's community. All right, Nana says 3 wins so far. Nah, no stream snipe. I wanted to team with Butter, Jude says. Appreciate you, bro. Liz says, yeah, mate. Been watching Butter stuff for a while. Got to support the Aussie Zero Build lads. Good on you guys. All right, let's go and rotate now. We're going to make our way over towards the gas station here at Sandy. Mindfully checking up top there. Grabbing this car. Also got some splashes there, but only 1 splash, which honestly isn't going to be the be-all and end-all for me, guys. I much prefer to have... Oh, you beauty. Look at this. Nice G-Wagon there for the taking. So, and now we're in our element, guys. Now we are, of course, going to have... Oh, is that really a lightning gun player? Isn't that interesting? It's been a while since I've seen one of those. There's actually a self-revive device behind us here. I'm going to see if we can't maneuver it like so. Alright, beautiful. I would like to upgrade my gun here. Alright. Now we're good to go, guys. Let's see if we can't introduce ourselves to this player here. One thing to note with the arc lightning gun players, guys, is that they excel close range. So if you're going to fight them, try to get yourselves a little... Uh-oh. Try to get yourselves a... Okay. We're going to try this one last time. One last time. We go for the heal up. I jump out of the car. Right, old mate is already jumping on us here, guys. We're going to let these 2 guys fight as we rotate out to some higher ground. For example, up on top of this cliff face here. Alright, and now we can try to maybe... Oh. I want to say that that glider is probably pay to win. I feel like that... This is the second time, guys, I have really gone up against a glider player like that. And the dragon just completely hides their body, making it almost impossible to actually see them. If you guys have that dragon glider, if you guys know what that dragon glider is, please do let me know, because I'm curious. Real quick tip there, guys. You would have noticed we actually jumped off of a mountain and didn't take any fall damage there. And how we did that was we jumped into a bush. Alright, if you jump into a bush, you will not take any fall damage. Well, he's going to be very, very low there. Of course, for the high ground, old mate. Behind the bush there, he's probably already healing up, right? Okay, well, this is a little bit unfortunate for us, guys. We'll go up top for high ground. Try to reposition there. Oh. Alright, we do have that shockwave in 2 seconds. See if we can't get up there in the nick of time. Alright, gliding on and over. I want to really try to remove this player sooner rather than later. I do not want to let them get away here. Thought they might have gone behind us. unfortunately, they might be actually escaping right now, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But look, well played to them in terms of their movement. They've got some really nice mobility there. Now the diamond, see how it's looking to the right, guys? That means there is someone closer to the diamond than we are right now. Right, that diamond is going to only look at the closest player to it. So I'm imagining that they are inside that building there. Alright, now we can do a lot of mind games with this. We can do a whole lot of different tactics and strategies to be able to try and triangulate people's positions. You know, maybe try to bait players out. We're at third party. But right now, guys, we have the high ground. Oh. And we've got positional advantage. They're still running the arc lightning gun there. Alright, what do we got in chat? Good evening from Northwest Florida, the Emerald Coast. Good evening, Dave. Good to see you, Dave. Ooh, Mr. CR75 getting a kill over there against Slappy Grind. But I met Aim B as part of Toby One Shinobi's master crew. Not sure if you heard of Toby. I have heard of Toby. He's a pretty great YouTuber. Hey, Butter. Thanks for the shout out last video, mate. G'day to Adam. Of course, bro. Nana says, lol, that's my driving style. Good to know that bush trick Zed says it's called the Drogon Rider, from what I can tell. Interesting. I need to get that glider. That is absolutely diabolical. See how the diamond isn't looking at us, it's looking down there? Likely means old mate is inside that building. I use the Kaisel glider on a few of my characters, Nana says. One bullet away, Yuya. Yeah, I know, right? Right, see how it's now switched over there? That now means someone is in closer proximity over towards the Caesar's Palace. Yes, Arc has made its return. It's been nerfed, but has low gravity, easy out DPSs with shotgun and pistol, the dash pistols. Dragon is from Game of Thrones. Interesting, okay. Appreciate that, Glizz. Thanks, Dawnless. I'll give it a fair crack for you guys. How about that? Skin switch always works, Solo says. Totally agree. It is, in fact, tech. Do a quick little water break here, guys. Alright, we are going to be getting pushed out of the zone pretty soon. So at this stage, I want to be trying to identify our next sort of areas to rotate to. Where we might go is gloving over towards here. I'm going to try to save our shockwave to get on top of Caesar's Palace a bit later on. Alright, we're going to wait for this zone. So in 20, it's right below us. Trying to watch these exits here. Alright, in case he does try to come outside of that main building. Again, guys, if you are not already subscribed, make sure you do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button. Alright, it sounds like he's running out with the Caduceus staff in hand. I wonder if this clock tower is his own. Feeling like the bell ringer, or rather so the beast here. Let us see what we've got down below. I'm using this natural cover here of this building to our advantage. We're using this to shield us from potentially the player over in the temple there, over at Caesar's. And I'm watching the exits. There's a main entrance to the building there and another main entrance there. Alright, so another doorway there as well. I'm going to move around to the side and see if the diamond tracks us. No, it's not. Okay, this is good. We now know old mate is inside this building. We could probably glove over there, to be fair. If we start getting shot at from Caesars, I most certainly will, guys. But right now, a lot of players won't be expecting you to be up here on top of this tower. Alright, that is our sort of signal, guys, to heal up here. And we'll go and rotate now, at least relatively soon. Right, they're going to be getting into some action there. Alright, we'll go for one more big boy. Keeping an eye out, using this camera angle to turn our head. Making our way now on top of the diamond. We want to be cautious so as to not alert a lot of players here to our location. Alright, and if needed, we'll go and leave over towards... Alright, well played to them. Of course, they're coming now down onto us here. Going to make my way into Caesars if they want to let us. I want to try and bait this player in and around this area. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Well played to those guys. How good was that? My days. I didn't think we were going to get out of that one, but happy to do it for you guys. GG's. Always a bit abysmal accuracy there with the Thunderburst. But guys, let's see if we can run it back for one more there. GG's, guys. Who What Where says, I got out DPS by an arc lightning. I had a gold pistol. Was over 30 meters too. That is insane. I'm sorry to hear that. I feel for you. Yeah, it's rough. Sharon says, played a few 3rd place and 9th place lol. Rather tune back into the stream, watch you get the job done. Good on you, Sharon. Nice effort, though. That's definitely still impressive. None of the same. So, good on ya. Tammy says, hey, butter, so want to watch you. So I'm going to multitask and cook dinner while watching you. You're the best, Tammy. What are we cooking tonight? GG's action. Thanks for the jewels, bro. Back-to-back, Holy says. You got some back-to-back wins. Zed says, GG, close. GG's, guys. Lino, who, what, where, eyes. Thanks, guys. Anna says, yes, well done. GG, guys. Dauntless. That's what I'm talking about. All you, bro. Nicely done, Jackson. Thank you, bro. That's why he's the GOAT. You guys are crazy. 4 wins now. Okay, let's go. A little bit better than last week's stream there. Okay, we had a very rough stream, I think. Immaculate game management. Thanks, videos. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Enchiladas, Tammy says. Love enchiladas. That's bloody brilliant. Who What Where was playing on my kid's Switch, so it's pretty rough playing on. Yeah, I get it. I've played Fortnite on a Switch before. Not my preferred device, but you have my respect there. Quick water break, guys, and we'll get into the next game. Might as well go and try Riptides today. You know, I really wanted to give it a go earlier. We've got Rogue Cupcake, 3.5k wins, and then some other really nice players in the lobby here. So, really interested to see how we go with that. We will be dropping a little bit early there, guys, with that free fall. But ideally, I'm going to go for the pizza shop right now. Alright, we grab some form of gun there. Anything but the how you going pistol. Alright, we got some nice opportunity there with the Chaos Reloader. Oh, we are going to have the... going to come around the back here. Or is it around the other side? We are going to have the health glitch here, guys, which will display your health a little bit differently. Right, and as we can see here as well, we are not going to have the ability to pick up 8 pizzas anymore. So, a little bit unfortunate, but nothing too crazy. I think every time I land the pizza shop as well, I always tend to forget to grab the pizza slice over in the back of the building here. You know, I always get very hyper-focused, very hyper-fixated, you know, on trying to go and grab these heals, trying to go and grab these guns that I often forget to get these stakes that might have that ability to be able to grant us that nice mythic iron pump. You know, in worst case scenario, guys, even if we don't get the mythic iron pump, you still have that chance of another legendary gun. And I believe at the start of the season, there was a time there where you were actually able to get purple guns as well from this. So, see how we go. A legendary there for the Chaos Reloader. Look, It's a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. We're going to keep our head high here, guys, and we're going to go loot up the rest of this POI. We'll see what else we can find inside of these chests here. And maybe, just maybe, we can send it back for a win, one and the same. Alright, I do see, of course, a pro fishing rod out on the street there. We grab the gold, and I am going to grab this fishing rod instead of the assault rifle. The reason being, guys, is... Oh, we got a player. Crouching again, guys. It's a harpoon gun over there. I feel like we're getting very, very lucky. That's just a bit unfortunate. I thought I got that iron pump, the chaos shot off first, but you know what? Well played to that guy. We've got to change the skin again. I think that's the issue, right? It worked the first time. I feel like we just need to get our hands on something else, maybe to, you know, mess up the waters a bit there. So what else do we have here, guys? All right, we could go back for our OG skin there, the Maya skin. Go and find that one, Maya. This, guys, is of course going to be one of our more original skins that we used on the channel. I believe we only used to use the skin in our videos pretty much every day for the first 8-9 months there. So see how we go. Not GG, Holy says. Steve says, why do you only play zero build? Not complaining, I prefer it as well. I think that's a great question. So the reason why I only play zero build, guys, is because a lot of build right now is filled with a lot of really sweaty players who build, you know, just mega Trump Tower sort of situation things, right? They're building these massive high rises, these massive buildings, and they do so really quickly. And I feel like the skill gap between a new player and someone who has just been playing build for a while now is so massive that it's not really beginner friendly, and it's sort of turned build mode into this a really closed off community of just super sweats or hyper sweats. You know, and I'm not like that. I prefer to shoot as well. I prefer to use my cover around me to my advantage. I prefer to use different types of strategy than the building strategies to take players off guard. You know, and I've tried to play builds as well, guys, without building. You know, and I think I've actually won a game doing that once, but whatever the case, what I sort of noticed was that a lot of players just get into fights. You get into a fight finally, and then they just build up. And that is really sort of anticlimactic for me. That's not really a game I love to play. So, that's why I play zero build. Shout out to Action Jackson for the jewels, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Sora says, unfortunate. Nana says, try Magic. She is a winner or rival hope. Okay. Look, if we go back to the lobby early, 100%. We might only have enough time, guys, for another 1 or 2 more games. We will be ending stream in about half an hour, and then I'm going to go get on with the rest of my day. We'll do some gym, we'll do some cooking. Alright, and we'll see how we go. Alright, does anyone else have any other plans for the day besides the stream? I'm curious to hear it. I'm going to have a lot of heals here. Alright, gratefully off a drop. We'll go and use these minis. And I'm going to actually be grabbing this here and... oh, you beauty. Look at that, guys. A nice blue wine pump there for the taking. The reason why, guys, we are not going to be using that big boy is because we will have pretty close by, right, enough slurp barrels there to get us over that edge, right, to get us through that distance. Right, I was kind of hoping there might have been someone inside there. Fortunately, it looks like the other player might be towards the other side of this POI. We'll go up ahead here now. Go inside this main building. Oh. Crouching around. We do not want to give off those visual audios. A chest here. Let's see what we get. Some more gloves. Won't say no to that, guys. Especially if you guys are using items with these durability, with these uses. Right, if you do come up against, you know, some of these other items like the Kadasha stuff, like the gloves, ensure that you are checking, okay, what is the durability on them? Do they have more durability than my own? Coming up, down, around to the side of this mountain here. We will be picking up another big boy for the taking. Alright. Thank you very kindly for that. We can go and check out this side of the building now, and we'll see if we can't get our hands on maybe... I would like some splashes. In terms of ammunition, I don't feel like we need a whole lot of that. Alright, we are going to have a staff here. He's going to be 250 usages there though, so looking a little bit shy for my liking. Go and grab this now. Perfect. Alright, I might consider going for the pizza instead of the big boys. What I most certainly will do, guys, is we're going to go get a move on, and we're going to go to this fishing spot here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 golden fishing spots. Alright, I'm going to land on the coastline. And we're going to glove over. Alright, we're not going to just start immediately fishing, guys. Why not? Because we are trying to see if we can find, alright, one of those harpoon guns there, which will make this entire process a whole lot quicker. A golden pistol to start us off. Absolutely brilliant. Imagine we get a Midas flopper as well to really send this home. Wouldn't that be something, guys? Now, I've heard that you should be trying to aim this directly into the center, or at least as much into the center as possible. Wrong button there, butter. Oh. Okay, getting shot at from the side here. Go and pick up, of course, this new iron pump. I just want to check this high ground real quickly, because often, guys, when I am fishing, you guys are going to be putting yourself a little bit at a disadvantage there, because I find if you're moving around, it almost feels like the fish take longer to bite. So a little bit awkward there, but here we go. One last fishing, guys. Let's see what we can get. Imagine, oh no, we've got another spot over there. Imagine if we get the mythic, you know, that mythic pinpoint pistol, guys. That is going to be arguably the rarest gun in the game right now, and is something you guys can only get through fishing. Right, I actually found it the other day, and so did Adam, so another shout out to him. Alright, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I think Holy got it a few days ago as well there, so shout out to Holy. Alright, but guys, we can now go get a move on here. Alright, I pick up the slurp fish for temporary sort of healing in case we might need it. Alright, but what I'm really after here is going to be this Caduceus staff. Alright, making sure you guys do switch to your staff when you are using shockwaves is going to be a brilliant way to send you guys across, right, a whole lot of distance there. Editing some documents the rest of the night, sadly, Lino says. Fair play, Lino. I hope this can be a nice little sweetener to it, potentially. Action Jackson says, catching some Z's after this. My Monday starts at 5 AM. Fair enough, Jackson. Hope you rest easy, bro. Oh, he's going to be very, very low there. Right, a whole lot of ammo down there. There's also going to be a car. I'm going to shockwave over to the car, guys. And then we should be able to go and sweep up all of that loot there relatively quickly. Alright, we will upgrade our shotgun to legendary. And now we'll get a move on. Put a silver side on for dinner. And practice for a few games of Fortnite. I love that. I love silver side. Love silver side. My grandparents cook it. Absolute fantastic one. Love that meat. Let's see what we got over here. I can't see where that player might have been who was shooting at us from, but it looks like they might have rotated back towards gas stations, so we'll go and head on down, guys. We'll be leaving the high ground here, but I do want to try and get a rivalry, maybe down from Squibbly. I feel like Squibbly could be the play here, guys. Right, I'm going to check back up. Is he on top of the building? Might just be an antenna of some sort. I'm going to keep an eye on it, just in case, though, guys. Right, here we are. Better late than never. Glad I get to see a complete match. I'm glad to hear that, Wes. Good to see you, bro. Alright, we've got our rivalry just over there on that zip line. Honey Glow. We're out with the Caper skin. They're a Grandmaster 5 for the rivalry wins there. So they got more wins than me. Alright, I wonder how we'll go with this. I actually don't want to go in there anymore. Could have turned me off of that. I want to try and go to zone instead. Now looks like we've got a bit of a ways to go there. So we'll go and fuel up, guys. We'll begin this journey and we'll catch him off guard. Hopefully a little bit up ahead. I personally find that if you just move on the spot. Fair play. Yeah, I would agree there, Agmanate. Ollie says, currently running it down with the Mythic Pistol. No way. You got it, bro. Congrats. Nana says, I'm going to miss that stuff when it's gone. Yeah, it's always nice when they introduce items like this that make us, go, you know what? I'm actually going to miss it. When you start to realize how nice something is. And it does feel quite balanced as well. It's not as though it's super overpowered. Hopefully, no. Okay. We might just be out of luck here, guys. Shockwaving up, potentially. Healing ourselves up there. We'll go and heal ourselves up towards, of course, death, apparently. Well played. Right. Well played to Anonymous262, guys. A very, very sweaty player. Unfortunately, the gloves didn't quite want to glove there. Seemed to be gloving us in spot, which is a little bit how you going, but that's okay. That's okay. I reckon we got enough time, guys, for one more game here. Look at this player. Absolutely incredible. That is absolutely crazy there for Anonymous262. Shout out to them. We'll have a quick water break as we do wait for this next game. Yuya says you can get Midas floppers from non-gold fishing holes with harpoons too. No way. Okay. I had no idea about that. Thank you for letting me know about that. CC says chilling easy and prepping mega protein shakes so they aren't gritty. Great show as always, big boss. Appreciate you, CC. Thank you. Sora says same Nana, going to miss the staff. I miss the jetpack man, Jude says. It's a good item, Nana says. Yuya, no, GG's. You should have the pizza slices out. Yeah, you're exactly right. I reckon the pizzas might have given us a fighting shot there. Rookie error on my part. How's that? Sora says, not going to miss the pulse pistols, lol. A good player use. Not sure if that's a complete sentence there, but I think I get what you're saying that. These pulse pistols, guys, they are absolutely crazy. Right, especially in the right hands. The dashes, the recoil abilities, you're going to get an absolute immense amount of utility there. Lol, I knew it was you, Journey of One says, Journey, did we just go into a game with you, bro? What's your IGN? How do we know you? Alright. Running with the OG butter skin here today, guys. The Maya skin. Alright, where do we want to send it off for this last game? Let's have a look. We've got Riptides, a blue chest for the Riptides. Could be quite nice, could be quite tidy. It is at the start of the battle pass, the battle bus path there. You just killed foes while he was streaming. I saw you jump with the traces and thought that looks a lot like Sib. That's awesome. Who's PHOS? You should what's his name? I'd love to check out his stream. GG's to him. Jude says I'm in your game. Awesome, Jude. Good luck. Sharon says, I don't like the dynamics of the pulse pistols either. Sora says, a good play using is nuts. Sometimes I read some of these comments, guys, and I do apologize because I feel like I get a little bit caught up in trying to stream and read that I sometimes you just look at words and words just don't make sense. But I know I'm just pronouncing or saying things wrong. I don't mind the pulse pistol. I'm not good at them at all, lol. Oh yeah, a good player using them is nuts. Yeah, you're so right, Sora. You're so right. Took me a bit there, but we got there in the end. Yuya says, I love pulse pistols. You can chase people to the end of the world. Jude says, please don't die. See you at the end. I'll see you there, Jude. See you there. We'll do an emote together, maybe. Thanks, Journey. Appreciate you, bro. I'll be sure to check him out. Alright, of course, landing back here, guys. It feels like we were just here yesterday. Alright, we are going to be... Alright, all too close to home here. Alright, again, we're not going to let go of the stake this time. We are going to make sure that we pick that up, that we do use it. Alright, we're going to grab some pizza slices for the road here. Alright, I might actually go for the 6 instead of using 1. And the reason being is there is going to be, right, a whole lot of slurp barrels littered around this POI. So, I don't feel all too rushed. Alright, fortunately, it doesn't seem as though many players have decided to land here with us. Uh-oh. I've actually lost the pistol there. I switched it with something near a window and it looks like it's absorbed into the walls. This might be a little bit awkward. Alright, channel going down there. Well played the channel. Let's see what we get. We got a stake. Will we get the mythic, guys? Will we get it? Please. Fingers crossed. Let's see right now. We go for the reload. I start it. We crouch to hide our head. 3, 2. You know what? I'm not even mad about that, guys. I'm actually quite happy with that. We had a lot of really good games today on stream with the Thunderburst. I'm pretty hopeful. I feel pretty hopeful, actually. All we really need is going to be a better rarity on the iron pump, and we could get that from the fishing spots. You know, we most certainly could. Now, this is also going to be a really nice blue chest zone here. So, if we get lucky enough, we might actually be able to find one from a chest as well. Alright, we'll break down this wall, of course, grabbing this bed to unleash his stuff for the taking. Most certainly go and grab that. Alright, I'm basically just trying to look for the blue chests here, guys. I'm not trying to go for the other regular loot. And the reason being is I'm really, really happy with what we've got. Alright, so making our way outside the building. We grab some gold, although arguably, guys, gold has probably never been, well, worth less than it has right now. You know, there used to be, of course, earlier seasons in Chapter 7, where gold was going to be really, really... useful there, but just can't help but feel that the rivalry system is completely outshun it, should we say. Now again, we'll go down to the side there. Trying to go for the weapon switch. Salem going down. Alright, we can now make our way inside. Of course, the gas station here where a G-Wagon will always be awaiting us. Guys, a really great reason of why we do like to do this drop strategy is because, alright, of that G-Wagon spawn. You know what, guys? This very well could be our last game of the day, so why not? We'll go and splurge a little bit there. Alright, we do have the double golden items right now, so I'm not really going to go for the fishing spots here. Unless, of course, we find our harpoon gun. There's actually someone leaving the POI right now. They're in the water there, guys. I reckon they have just looted up this entire area. Imagine if they've got the mythic on them. How cool would that be? Alright, let's try and go for the high ground up top here. Mr. Burgers will be going down. Unfortunate for Mr. Burgers there. He'll be going back to the lobby a little bit prematurely. Can you not still hold 8 pizzas in one slot now? No, Cannon. They have reverted it back. It was just for the weekend. Right, unfortunately. The default pistol disappears when dropped. It's a mechanic, not a bug. Ah, okay. I had no idea. Thank you so much. That's really helpful. Alright, well there you guys have it. If you guys do drop the default pistol, it will disappear. Yeah, that's pretty cool. One last trophy, Butter, CC says. Oh! There he is. There's Jude. Hey, Jude. I don't really have a wave, but I can do this for you. I'll see you at the end of the video. How about that, bro? Give him the friendly beep of friendliness there, and we'll go and head on out our way. I thought there might have been a rivalry board there, but I think there was an early Chapter 7, or maybe some games it spawns there. Alright, we'll go and check out, of course, another board just around the corner here. Journey says, sorry, wrong streamer. Alright, there we are. Go and grab a rivalry. No available. Now, guys, this does mean that everyone else has a rivalry. So, I'm going to make my way on top of the high ground, and we'll go and try and third party or scout out some of these players. Of course, showing my driving finesse here. I'll have a quick water break and read some comments. Alright, let's go up top now. We do have some shots just over towards the distance here. Definitely a lower amount of elims for this game, but that's okay. Got old mate in the water there. No, no, no. I reckon they are very, very close to going down there. Now that staff is going to be able to put in absolute work, guys, but with some high ground here. SSXNIC going down, dropping us that crown. We'll go and use the rest of his staff to heal us up. But honestly, look, well played to that superhero skin. Well played to them indeed there, guys. Alright, we can actually go up without gloves. Going. Oh. Siku going down, dropping us the mythic there for the revolver. I think our car should still be up top here, no? No, our car's down below. Can't quite see where we were getting shot at from that other angle, which is making me a little bit nervous here in terms of maybe trying to secure our vehicle. But here we go. We've got it. Let's go now, guys. We will have that zone moving. In terms of our wheels, it feels a little bit sluggish to turn this car. A little bit less fuel than intended there, but we've got a gas station up top there. Alright, will we be able to make it, guys, to that gas station whilst being on low fuel? It's anyone's guess, but we're sure as hell going to give it a fair crack at it, okay? I wish the trees broke when you crash into them, Nana says. I couldn't agree more. It feels like sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. If you're talking about the big trees, though, yeah, that would be pretty cool as well, though. I know the smaller shrubs there, the bushes do. Hi, Butter. Zoe says hi. G'day, Zoe. Payday, of course, tuning in there for the chat. Alright, we'll go, guys. We'll go and rotate over towards the gas station now. Unfortunately for us, we are going to be running out of fuel, I think. Yeah, a little bit prematurely there. Now, there is technically a way you can get your car over. It might not be the most safe or car-friendly way to do so. Right, it very well might not be. There's also going to be the possibility that you guys will blow up this car. Okay, well, we live and we learn. I feel like we got a little bit greedy there, and it seems as though this car as well is a little bit worse for wear. We'll see if we can't go and grab it, but if not, guys, that's okay. We'll go and make our way over towards Wonky now. Alright, we've got some nice zone. There is still going to be another gas station there. Was there? I think that was there the whole time. I feel like we got a little bit bamboozled there. A little bit lost in the sauce, so to speak, but whatever the case, with 21 health left on this vehicle, we will be able to rotate now. Switch to passenger to coast. Good idea, Jude. Thanks for that. Alright, that's what you guys want to do. If you're trying to conserve your fuel, switch to passenger, the engine turns off, and you will conserve that fuel there. Would you dance to death at the end with me, Jude says. I will make no promises to you, my friend, but I will certainly at least start the ending off there dancing. We'll see. Let's see how we go, guys. We'll go and refuel the car here. Of course, trying to take her around the corner there. Ideally, we're going to be parking on not one, but again, 2 of these refueling pads so as to heal up the vehicle. Double the speed. All right, guys, there we go. Coming on and out now. We can go and rotate into the zone. Let's go and see, guys. The last game of the day. Will we be able to send it back for the win? Alright, guys. We will be ending the stream then after that. So, again, if you have enjoyed this episode, you are tuning in now for the very first time, make sure you do hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button. Alright, another player going down there. Taco will be back in the lobby. 3 other players are remaining. We have got some low ground here. Now, there is going to be a G-Wagon and a regular car spawn here, guys. I can't quite remember for the life of me where exactly, but we are going to be rotating back up around the side. And there is going to be that newer POI here as well. I want to see if we can't go and grab a self-revive device, though. Thought I might have heard someone with a shockwave, but I'm going to pray. Going to hope that I am actually mistaken. Alright, we've got the self-revive. We've also going to have there... Alright, guys, we're going to have one of those rivalry boards there. So I wouldn't mind trying to get the location on some of these last few remaining players. We'll go and activate a rivalry there. A little bit unfortunate, guys, but that's okay. Because coming down here, we have found some more gloves. Alright, we can now go and use these. Alright, to traverse back over towards our car. Of course, with the memory of a goldfish. Okay, there we go. We have got it. A little bit low fuel here. Not honestly the greatest thing in the world right now, but we can definitely see how we go. Alright, let's go and make our way around the corner here. And we will have the high ground up towards Wonky just up top. So, you guys can find that harpoon gun. Apparently fishing up those regular fishing spots. It's actually going to be a way to get that Midas floppers, so pretty interesting to see there. Alright, we'll curl our way around the corner, making our way around this main POI, guys, of course, of Wonky. Here we go. It's gonna be this is Jude, guys. Jude from the chat there with the Terminator skin, arguably one of the more sweatiest skins I've ever seen. I'm gonna go for the Ferris wheel here, guys. I'll show you a cool, neat trick. You jump up like so. Oh, it's better to do it over in this direction, actually. Won't really let me do it. There we are. Capture yourself again. And then you can sort of double fling yourself up there really, really quickly. Alright, there's one of our rivals there, guys. Potentially, I don't think that's Jude. I think that might just be a regular Jules player. And this is our favorite camping spot, guys. Alright. He says, gonna minimize the stream now. Good on you, Jude. Alright, let us see here. Alright, we've got some high ground up top. Jude is going to be all the way on the outskirts of zone there. I'm going to mark that so I can see roughly where he's at. Just a bit more visual there. And we know that there is another player right down below, over in Wonky. A little bit unfortunate there, getting a little bit too close to comfort. Alright, now we're trying to wait and trying to see. Okay, where are these last 2 players? We can see Jude is moving now. He's over towards that little base that we were at before. I wonder where, or if, Jules is still here though, the other skin. Alright, so I'm checking the main car park. I'm trying to see, can I see anyone running around the outskirts there? Maybe they've left the POI? Is there anyone at the Ferris wheel? Right, these main sort of rotation areas, these main places that players will go to get from position A to position B. That's where I want to be watching, okay? That's where I want to have my eyes on. Alright, especially these big open areas. Alright, so zone is moving again, guys. What do? We go to safety. And now we're going to go and look over where we're going to position ourselves. I like that high ground on top of that peak. We have a redeploy. In fact, I'm going to go and take this glider. Oh no. Jude has just been taken down to the lobby. Alright, we will have to avenge you, Jude. Alright, I wonder where he's at. He seems to be over by a rivalry board. Right, there he is. It's going to be the new... Is it Kendo skin? Forget what that skin's called. It's in the store right now. Indigo something. Guys, Indigo something. I really don't like playing that area there. I'm going to make my way over to this house instead. Oh, he's already here. Jock waving out. Unfortunately, getting caught off guard by the roller coaster. We can make our way around inside this POI. Try and capture ourselves off of that for a moment. Alright, let's try and recalibrate here, guys. Let's try and reset this fight. We know roughly where this player's at. This is a good thing. I want to wait for our... Oh, he's going up on top of the mountain. Okay, well, you know what I tell you. This is not looking all too good for us here, guys. Not a massive fan of when you attack these players that it does mark them, because especially if you're trying to aim at a player from far away, it's going to make it quite difficult. Okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to stay down here for a bit, and we're going to wait for zone to pull, and hopefully it's going to pull back towards us. I tell you what, sometimes you're damned, but most certainly you are if you're me right now. Let's see where this zone is pulling, all the way to the back there. I'm going to try and make my way down here, guys. Seeing if we can't dodge some of those shots. I'm going to try to wait and secure our overshield for later. Alright, remove our marker so it doesn't distract us. Alright. Okay. This is not looking good. He managed to secure the high ground. Well played to this player though, guys. Look, that's just... There's not much I can do there. That is just too good. Alright, we'll try and go for the self-revive. If they want to let us try and get that kill. A close one. A close call. But look, well played to Anonymous269. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy that episode, if you did enjoy the stream, alright, a few wins today. Very good to see. Look, it's been fun. We're going to be doing this every week, of course, guys. So I'll see you all next time. 6 p.m. ET Sunday evening for the Americans. Right, if you're an Aussie out there, that'll be 8 a.m. Monday mornings, Queensland time. And as always, take care. Garnier.